So in this case, it's actually going to move up this edge of the map here. So if I scrub the timeline, you'd expect it to start off in a purple. Actually, let's turn on show map in viewport. There you are. So it starts off as a purple, and as it moves up, it goes up into red. Then it goes up into dark blue. You know, you can see it goes through dark purples there. So it's gone up into this blue area. We'd expect it to maybe go a little bit green, and then there you are. It goes up tiny bit green there, and then it goes down into black. So it's going through this black area, and then black up through dark blues into cyans, and then up to the dark blue right up there in the corner. So let's just turn this off and do a final one. Let's try and bear in mind all the values we've got here. We're going to start off with a U value of 0, and we're going to start off with a V value of 0, which will put us down here in this corner. And we're actually going to do a diagonal line, which will actually go up here. So we'll go to the end frame. I'll set both of these values to being 1. As I said, 1 would actually put you back to 0 again, so I'll just move those values down slightly so they're both 0.999. That's fine, and I'll turn on show map in viewport, and I'll just rename this, and I'll call it mapping UV, because it's actually modifying both values. I've got show map in viewport turned on. We'll go back to frame 0. You would expect it to be purple, then maybe to move through some reds, then some yellows, and some greens. So let's try that. Yeah, there's the reds. Then it goes through some oranges, then into some greens. Very briefly into some greens, and then down into black. We're going through black here. Then up through the purples. You can see you're going through the purples here. Up into whites. We're going through this white area here. Down into light blues, cyans, down into greens. Green here. Then we go down, so it goes dark. Dark red, so we must be skimming along here. You would probably expect to see some blues next. Some blue purples. Yeah, we're going through this area. And now I'd expect to see maybe some reds coming in here. Oranges and reds. There we go, and right up to the corner there where it goes yellow again. So that's basically the functionality of what this particular operator does. Now, you might ask, what exactly is it useful for? Well, here's an example of what it could be used for, and I'm actually just going to describe this because it would involve scripting, and this DVD is obviously at a fundamental level, so we won't go actually into any sort of major scripting in this DVD. But I'll give you an example, you know, so try and imagine what I'm talking about here. Imagine if you had a gradient map ranging from black to white along its length. So I'll just create this here in the viewport. Just save out this file. I'll just create a map here, gradient ramp. There we go. And you could use this gradient as a mask in a mix map. So if we make a mix map here, go down to mix. There we go. And now I could use that as a mask in it. So we'll just instance that, and I'll set this mask to be let's say from red to green, let's say. Then you could use an expression for, say, the U parameter in this operator, and that would say, let's say for instance, that when a scene helper, a point helper or whatever, has a distance of 0 to a target object, then the U parameter would equal 0. So this U parameter here would equal 0. And let's say when the distance between the helper and the target object is 50, then the U parameter equals 1. And in this expression you could say if it equals anything more than 50, then it still equals 1 to 1. So it actually locks off at that. So you've got a range from a range of 0 to 50, and 0 would represent 0 in U, and 50 would represent 1 in U. Or as we've just seen, it would actually have to represent 999. Otherwise we'd loop back to 1. Sorry, we'd loop back to 0.